Hello, Badger.
Welcome,
Hello, Vikki.
everyone.
Hello, Wendy.
Welcome back, Jon.
Hello,
Nice
hello.
to see you.
Yay. It's great to be back.
Hello.
Wendy's had a hard week, so she's having a little alcohol bath there.
Yeah, just enjoying where I'm at the moment.
Yeah, I see you are. Hopefully you got some medicine in there. Good stuff.
Yeah, some good medicine. Yeah,
medicine.
The lemon. It's all about the lemon. It's all about the lemon.
So is Marcell's. Marcell is all about the lemon there. Somewhere in there.
He's got a variety.
Yeah, he's more than double parked. He's more than double parked. Welcome to those on Twitch as well. We're streaming live there now as well. Marcell, looks like you're quite tropical there, not just with your drinks, but with your getup. I'm quite liking the new look.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's my island look. Am I lagging?
Just a little, but that's fine. You're on island time. It's all good in the sun. And here for some fun, we're back this week with yet another Hodlnots Happy Hour Hangout. I missed the previous one, but I had some incredible stand-ins. I didn't know if I still had a job. Having both Wendy and Marcell leading it up, as well as Nico and Marius on the call, chatting all things alternatives to KuCoin. But speaking of KuCoin, the things are still hot and happening there. Lots of HI coins been running, and so happy to be back talking more tips and tricks on TradingView this week. But before we get to all of that, I see someone's been cleaning up the mess from last time. Wendy was complaining that there was everything from Nesquik to cattle litter happening in front of where I'm sitting now. I guess Jon's back to clean up things. Anyway.
Yep.
Sorry about that.
No, it's all good. It's all good. Great to see a whole bunch of people from around the world here in attendance, furthering our conversations all around TradingView tips and tricks. And clearly, I'm here to do all the cleaning up today. Thanks. I don't mind. Wear my rubber gloves. Vix, I need some rubber gloves next time.
Oh, next week.
On the next edition, at least, of TradingView tips and tricks. It might not necessarily be the next one, but it will be definitely to follow. We've got a few things we're going to be adding on to our very first TradingView tips and tricks episode that we did a couple of weeks back. I hope all of you did watch, and also the fact that we had a couple of entrants around that contest. So keep that in mind. We are going to be running another contest where you guys and girls can actually surprise Wendy. Another one-on-one, and then congrats again to Isabel for winning the previous one as well. So keep an eye out for that, and the entry mechanism, which we will be dropping with the recording, at least of this edition, once it goes live on the various channels on bitcointough.com. But for now, Marcell, how things? How's the last week been? How you been? What's happening?
I think the market's been exciting some days. We've had some great runs over the past. When were we last year? Like 2 weeks ago we did this.
Yeah.
So let's let me just quickly share my screen and we can have a look at what happened in the den. Not last week, the week before that. In the den, we can see coins like Hi-Fi ran a bit, BTS, MBL that didn't do bad, Suter or SUTR, I'm not sure how you pronounce that. That was a great profit there from one of the members. So this is the last week. The high coins actually started running just after like Sunday on Monday. So this is up until Sunday, where you'll see there's that other MM coin that I mentioned, which ran well. There were some coins that did a little bit of a bump and dump, but some of the members actually did grab some of that as well. XRP did great. Like we all know, XRP did like 100% in like a couple of minutes or an hour. So a lot of our members actually managed to scalp XRP as well as gain on the ones that's holding it long term. So XRP did well. ONG also, you'll see lots of profit was made on that. DIA, someone grabbed 10% on DIA. BBC, Bitcoin Cash also didn't do bad. Of course, we're scalping, so we taking advantage of the shorter trades. There's another one. Someone's stop loss hit, and they managed to grab just over 10% of another coin. Then after this, like literally yesterday and the day before that, the high coins started running again. So we had high birds, high seals, high friends also ran. So there was a whole bunch of the high coins on KuCoin that also did very, very well. Where am I? I'm on
under the table. Under the table.
So
nice to see all these coins running, isn't it?
Exactly. So we had some days that were quiet, I must admit, but the busier days definitely makes up for the quieter days. So I think all in all, the last 2 weeks there was plenty of opportunity for scalp trading in the market. Yeah, I think it's exciting. It seems as if the market is like waking up a little, and it's definitely exciting, especially for like the larger cap coins that is also gaining a bit here and there.
Yeah, and if for those who were not on the MTT call, Wendy had a whole section on XRP and what's happened with XRP and what might happen with XRP. Huh, Wendy?
Oh yeah, I mean it's all over the news right now. They had a great win, basically, in their lawsuit. So that's really made XRP jump, because they were actually delisted from some of the exchanges. That when the news came out about the security of it and the lawsuit and everything, and they weren't able to be on several exchanges. But the news now, Coinbase and Kraken are probably going to relist XRP, which is great news for the USA. Be able to trade it on Coinbase again. But the win was huge, and it's all over the news if you want to read about it. It's just spiked up, XRP 1,300% in volume. So the volume is coming in on XRP. Everything's really, really positive on that. We went over that on the MTT call just a few minutes ago. We just finished that and updated everybody on MTT. But yeah, there's some great news on XRP, which is real positive in the market right now. So excited. Yeah.
Nice. Good to see there's investor confidence on the return. And yeah, I mean, speaking about some of those HI coins, I mean, some of them are still running. I think, Wendy, didn't you grab some percentages and some dollars there with one of the dot calls a little while ago?
Absolutely. We're really focused on our 3M program in Hodlnots, learning and teaching people how to trade $20 up to 2,500 USD. It's doable. We've had people finish it. It's life-changing. And so today we were on the pink call. So for all the pink Hodlnots who made the call, I posted it in the pink room. But we were trading, when you get to pink level, you're trading $50 trades to $100 trades, depending on your level. And so I just took $50 and we were on the call and I was showing them how we're doing it at this particular level. And so in 1 minute, actually it was just shy of a minute, we traded $50 and we capped out with, I think, $3.43, which was a really good trade for $50 in less than a minute, or 1 minute trade. So you can do that over and over and again with a good percentage gainer, which is what we look for. In this market today, we just did that just within the last couple of hours. We did that. So on a coin, it was great.
Really amazing. I mean, and this is what like Marcell was showing, those percentages with the weekly kind of roundup, that's not over a day. That's within minutes. That's where people are grabbing, a couple of candles on the 1 minute time frame, and they're getting in and out, and then they're carrying on with their day. They're going shopping, they're going back to work, they're fetching the kids, whatever it is. And that's a great thing about scalping as well.
Yeah. That's almost 7%, 6.86% in how many minutes? Two?
It's
one. It was 1 minute. It was just under a minute. Yeah.
Almost 7%.
Can I share my screen? Can I share my screen? Can I?
Okay, you may.
Okay, let me share my screen.
It was in I did the math quickly.
I want to just show people that if you're not in our den, this is what our den is all about. We just love our community, and our community has been scalp trading this coin. Hi, Phil. So this is what I wanted to show you is that while this doesn't look like it's very much, and Grant, we do the minute charts now, and we teach you how to do it on the minute chart. But on the minutes, you can see this is about 3 minutes of trading right here. And then this right here is about another 3 minutes of trade, maybe 5 minutes if you can catch it all. But we teach you to play it safe on the Bollinger here. And even this trade right here, I just want to show you what kind of percentage gains are in some of these coins. So if you got in the trade right here on the Bollinger Band and you got out right here, you're 48% profit in 3 minutes. And this one went all the way up to right there. So it went up 65% in just a matter of 3 minutes. Okay, that's massive. Where are you going to get 60, 50% gain? You should have been able to capture a good 30 to 40% on that, easy peasy, if you were watching it from start to go. This one right here, in and out 15%, it actually went all the way up to this resistance line at 29%. But again, just minutes later, you watched for the retracement, it came back, and in 2 more minutes, you made another. If you don't understand the impact of this, try $1,000 on 2 minutes, making $160 for every 1,000 that you put on that in 2 minutes. I mean, this is the power, and you would not get this if you are not minute scalping. The reason I say that is because when the market gives, it always takes away. And you can see here within a matter of a couple hours, if you were buying and long-term holding this coin, you would have seen a beautiful increase, but you wouldn't have sold out, and it would have been all the way back down, and it would have taken, and it's all the way back down again. So here we are waiting for it to run again, and we're watching our buy sell tags, we're using our hodlnator, and we're using all of the indicators. But even just a small percentage gain off of this one coming back up here, there's another, in just a very short period of time, what you can get on a coin minute scalping is like no other form of trading whatsoever. So this is why we're really passionate about our 1 minute scalping. So we capture those.
Yeah, absolutely. And why it's addictive as well, because my alert went off for high sales at 8,000 or 0, whatever it was. And I saw it pushed, I saw it 65%, and I was like, okay, it's coming down. And then I caught, as it broke that resistance on the 1 minute, I managed to grab 5.98% in also less than a minute. At one candle. I was like, nah, I'm just going to take that and I'll be happy. And it's, you find one great runner, like we always say. One great runner. And the great thing about a lot of these HI coins is that quite a number of them run together. Marcell mentioned High Friends as well. High Birds was beautiful yesterday, at least. Yeah. And the High Clonex, there are a whole bunch of them that seem to run together. But that's the thing as well, though. Bear in mind that while these are on KuCoin, there are other great runners and other coins that do push on, whether it be Binance or MEXC. I've started looking at a lot of the coins, and there's some really exciting ones. I mean, Vikki's mentioned that it's generally like the go-to platform for a lot of these new releases and new coins, and there's some on MEXC as well. So there's a lot of options out there for people, especially those in the States. What are the solutions we're looking around there, Vix, in terms of those in America using MEXC?
MEXC does not have a KYC, so we can leave it at that. So our friends in the US can get on there if they use a certain type of program. So yeah, we are looking at MEXC to continue the scalping and to replace as such KuCoin. There are still people that can obviously scalp on KuCoin, but if you cannot, MEXC does not have KYC at the moment, at least.
All right, so we've got a couple of our members in the den who are switching over to MEXC and are trading on there already. And there are a bunch of people here on the call. It's really great to see really nice turnout. Thanks to all of you around the world joining us here on it. We've spoken about scalping a fair bit, and we've actually got some exciting news coming up for the month of August. Vikki, Wendy, would you like to let everybody know?
Month of August, we have another course coming up. So on the 11th of August, it starts. So if you have any friends, family, colleagues, co-workers, enemies that you want to have learned to scalp, they won't be enemies for long if you get them into the program. And we have that going on the 11th of August. So probably 3 weeks away still. So there's plenty of time to sign up for that. And then in end of September, we are toying with the idea of having the scalping workshop again, which we did do quite successfully back in, I don't even remember what month it was.
Yeah, it's been a while, quite
It's
some
been a
time, but we
while,
have some
so
really good reviews from people
we
who
did.
came back from years ago.
It was very intensive. It was 2 days, full on, 24 hours a day. But it was for the, let's say, older members that have not been with us for a while, or anyone really that wants to join in and have a little bit of a refresh on the course. And it was a lot of fun, actually, too. So we're toying with the idea of doing that in end of September again.
Exciting, exciting. Oh, there's so much happening. And now is the time while this market is still kind of consolidating. You want to be able to get those skills under the belt. You want to be able to refine them and hone them and make sure that you're ready, because even in this market, look what Marcell's been sharing with us. We've been sharing on all the bitcointough.com channels and Telegram and sharing what people are grabbing in a matter of minutes. You want to be able to catch that now, be able to get those skills under the belt, and really when the market takes off, when and if, you'll be well prepared in advance. So 3 weeks, and like Michelle said, yeah, Vix.
Yeah, sorry, John, that is so true, because I think what happens, a lot of people wait until the market runs to learn how to scalp. And not that it's too late, because scalping is a life skill, but why not learn before the market runs so you're ready when the market runs? Take advantage of it all.
Absolutely. We've got a bunch of our recent graduates on the call here as well today. And for those, I know a couple of the older, I wouldn't say older faces, but some of the ones who've been around as well. Again, bear in mind that if you want to refresh and go through the course in a 48-hour sprint, then definitely perhaps join us. We will share more information around that Hodlnots workshop weekend again towards the end of September. But for those of you who have friends and families, or even frenemies, you can get them to sign up for the Hodlnots Scalping course in August. Like Michelle says in the chat down below, you can also gift that course to somebody. I think that is a kind of a gift that might change somebody's life. All that information down in that chat with a link there as well. Thanks for that, Mish. Any Q&As today? Obviously that's always going to be open. There is a Q&A function down below. You guys and girls are welcome to ask any questions. We are going to be touching on tips and tricks in TradingView shortly. For some of you who did attend the previous call, we know that there was a good response. We had some people who were jumping in through the chat throughout the call, and they were asking questions and or sharing their favorites. All right, cool. Let's get on with this. We will touch on those dates. How's your drink there, Wendy? Do you need a top up? You good?
I'm doing just fine. Lemon's really good. Lemon, yum yum.
Good.
So it's the lemon that's good. All
right. So
okay, it's the honey, and the honey's in there.
Sure, that wild bush, whatever it was. All right. Good. I think you should be fine, Badger. No? All right. Whenever you're ready. But otherwise, let's get into it. We're going to, I'm going to share screen quickly because we want to touch on what we were looking at in the previous rendition of the TradingView tips and tricks. And for those of you, very quickly, as a brief recap, what we did was we cleaned up a whole bunch of the chart. There were a whole bunch of things down here that were taking up what we call real estate or space. You may well have seen that your watch list on this side here had everything from Forex to stocks and a bunch of things. So we cleaned all of that up. And it is, if you want to know how to do that, go and watch the previous episode. It is in the main channel. It's in the Hodlnots announcements channel. It's all over the place as well. And it's actually quite important to maybe perhaps go and watch that again, because we have that contest, which will be launching once this version of the TradingView Tips and Tricks edition has been published. We will let you know more about that contest. You can actually win a prize or even two. But we'll get more onto that a little later. So this is the free version. Basically what I showed you in the previous edition of the TradingView Tips and Tricks. I hadn't signed in, but this is a free account. So I have signed up. I've created another separate free account. So for those of you who do only have the TradingView free version, This is what most likely you may see. Obviously, you might have a few other things here on your chart, other indicators and things like that. But I quickly want to just touch on, for those of you who are considering looking at getting into having a paid version, there are benefits. There are a lot of benefits versus having just the basic. Now, you only really need, if you're just looking really at trying to understand something, with this free version, you can only have up to 3 indicators, which is, it does talk about it down over here. And there we go. All right, so you can have 3 indicators on your chart at a time, whereas with the Pro version, you can have 5, etc., etc. Luckily, here in Hodlnots, we have the incredibly powerful Hodlnator, which is it a 14-in-1, 15-in-1, 11-in-1? I can never keep track. There are just so many indicators that are built in, and it only counts as 1 indicator. So you can add a whole bunch of other things as well. So there is a bit of an advantage there, but you can still add your 3 indicators for the free version. The other thing as well, that while a lot of you, you may only, with the free version, you can only look at 1 time frame or 1 chart. With the paid version, you can actually have 2 or more, depending on which you want to use. But we can touch on that, on all of this a little later. This is very simple. If you just go to TradingView and you can actually look at the products, you can actually do the comparison of features and that kind of thing. But let's get back into it. We did have a few entries with the contest last time, people sharing their favorites from the previous recording, but we'd also love to hear from some of your favorites as well. Keep that in mind for the contest coming up. And we may even hear from Vikki and Marcell, and perhaps even Wendy and Michelle, if they have other TradingView tips and tricks I'd like to share, but we're going to still try keep it a little basic. And we were speaking about, what was that coin running? High seals. Now, for some of you who might remember, Vikki suggested last time that instead of going up to here and looking for whatever the coin might be, if you hover over anywhere in your negative space, or at least not on there, and you just start typing high seals, what it'll do, it'll pop it up. Easy enough, which is really great. And then it's going to pull up high seals for you. Now, this chart might be a little confusing, but you're like, oh, I don't know what's happening here. I don't know where do I buy? Where do I sell? Like, this is what the Hodlnots scalping course is all about. And this is where we teach you all of those really important indicator understandings, as well as how they play a role, etc. But that's quite a nice, easy way to find a coin. We spoke about hi friends. Well, let me go back here. Hi friends. So you can just start typing. Nice, right? But now what happens is like, oh, I don't have high seals here anymore. So I can see what this is doing, but like, oh. So there are a couple of things that you can do. And again, this depends on whether you have a free version or a paid version. But just for now, for the free version, what will happen is it's going to populate one long watch list as we start to add coins to the watch list. So there are 2 ways you can do this. Currently, I'm on Hi Friends. And again, you can either go up here to search for it, you can start typing, or what's really nice is you can also click that plus button. Now, this is your watch list section here on your right-hand side. And what you want to do, again, you can either go all, like a lot of us, we just choose crypto only. And again, if you only have access to Binance, or if you only have access to KuCoin or MEXC or whatever it is that may be tolerated, allowed in your country, you can simply select any of these. For now, I'm going to leave it on all sources. And I want to go back to high seals because I've got high friends there, but I want to be able to add high seals to my watch list. Now, currently I only have Bitcoin here. So once you do this little plus button here on the top of your watch list and you type in the coin, what you can do right here is click on that and you can see it gets automatically added to your watch list. Boom, easy, all right? Now I can do the same thing with Hi Friends. I want to add it. And in that way, you can start to populate your watch list. What's really nice is if, for instance, you are on KuCoin and you want to find out more about some of these other HI coins, you can go to KuCoin.com and you just start typing HI into the search field. which we can show you a little later, but this is all about TradingView tips and tricks. So if you just start typing HI, you're going to find a whole bunch of things that have the letters H and I in there again. What you can do to make your life a little easier is you can start typing it here, and you'll start to see the USDT pairings versus the DeFi, the Ethereum pairings, and all the others as well. And in this way, you can also just start to add in, making sure, again, if you are a scalper or you're trading in USDT in any other time frame, you can just literally click on all of these. These are the ones we've been speaking about. Now, let's talk about one of the other ways, and this is my favorite way of doing it, actually. If in the den, in the Hodlnots scalping den, or if somebody has mentioned something, I've seen it on another, maybe on Day Trade Masters or an MTT, and they're talking about high May C. All right. So I haven't gone to the plus button up top here. I've actually just here in the space started typing, and there is high May C. There's also high bay C and a high back C. They are all related. They're all part of the fractionalized NFT collections. But for instance, high May C, somebody is talking about that. Now you'll see that at the moment, it's not showing high May C. It's actually still on Bitcoin back up here. But I want to be able to add this. Now I'm already on high May C. And instead of going back here again and then adding it and then searching for the same coin, for those of you on PC and those of you on Mac, if you use Alt W, or if you're on Mac, Option W, what it'll do is it'll automatically add it to your watch list. So that's if, for instance, somebody has just called it or somebody has mentioned this coin and you want to go straight to it, it'll take you to that coin. And from there, you can simply add it to your watch list by pressing Alt C or Alt W or Option W, depending on which operating system you're using. Now here's high bay C, and it's the same thing. It's taken me to this coin. And again, this is on normal candles, but we'll talk more about or touch on that again. And I'm pressing again, Alt W or Option W, and it starts to add all of your coins on your watch list. Now, somebody asked me the other day, they're like, oh, I'm looking to trade 10,000 US dollars at a time. I'm like, okay, that's a fair bit. Then you're looking for a large cap coin. And then that's something else that we will touch on, but you can actually create a separate list. But what happens is if you start adding all these coins, what else were we talking about today? Multi was running, and I think that's on Binance only. So I'm just going to do that. So multi, and I want to add this to my watch list. So I'm now adding, from KuCoin and Binance, but it starts to get a little jumbled. I've got a feeling that one of my co-hosts will be sharing a little tip and trick for those of you who only have the free version. The other option as well you can use is something, especially with the free version, you get the option of using a color tag. Now, a color tag is only applicable if, or multi-color tags, if you have a paid version. So it's going to ask you now to upgrade. I'm not going to upgrade because I already have a paid version on my other account. But if, for instance, you are looking to tag all your KuCoin coins, you can literally just use the standard default red one, and that will show you all of your, maybe just KuCoin, or maybe these are the coins that you're looking at for the day, or whatever it might be, something to bear in mind as well. So again, just to recap on how to add coins to your watch list, you can press that one there. You can actually start typing in a coin maybe somebody mentions, and what you'll see is high bay C and high May C are there, but they're already on my watch list. Because, okay, I can see them there, but if you've got like 800 coins on your watch list, if you see this next to that, it means it's already on your watch list. High back C, as an example, is not, so I've just added it to it. So that's quite a nice way to be able to populate an ad to your watch list. Now, again, this is the free version. What's really nice is when you have a paid version is you can actually create separate watch lists, because what happens is if you try to do that on the free version, you can't do that. And again, if you wanted to import a watch list, what is that, John? Well, let me tell you more. That is going to be only applicable to the paid version of TradingView, whether it be Pro, Pro Plus, or Premium. There are a couple of really nice things that do come into play. What is nice, for instance, if you do, again, have 100, 200 coins, and you've been using the red tag on the free version, you can literally only pull up those red flagged coins. If you have a paid version, you've got a blue list or a green list, like a lot of us do, then you can sort that. You'll have a red list, green list, cyan list, etc., etc. on that. Again, I don't know why this keeps happening, but I often have these stock values keep on popping up. You just exit out. So that's a little bit on the watch lists. Vikki, did you want to jump in quick and give us your little tippy tip?
Yes, what Jon was saying, you obviously can, if you have a paid version, drop down that and create a new list, which means you could have a KuCoin list, you could have a Binance list, you could have an MEXC list, you could have a high coins list, whatever. So you could do multiple lists if you have a paid version. The other thing you could do, if you go over to the little dots on the right-hand side there and click that, there's something called add a section. So if you click that, what that does, and this does work, so woohoo on the free version. So what you could do is you could have one list and you could put all your coins on one list. So all of your KuCoin coins, all of your Binance coins, all of your MEXC coins, and then do something called sections. So Jon just pushed the little section button. So again, you go in the upper right-hand corner in the little 3 little dots and you click add a section. And then what that does is it puts, now he has 2 sections in, so you can actually rename them. So you can click on where it actually says section 2 and rename that to say KuCoin or Binance. And then in section 1, you could rename that to the other one. And then what you can do is you can move the coins around. So you can put all of your KuCoin coins into the KuCoin section, all of your Binance coins into the Binance section, etc., or even high runners or high liquidity or whatever you'd like. And then once you have that, you can actually still do the change, and it will keep those coins in sections for you. It'll just do the change in the sections. So that's actually a little bit of a, for anyone, paid or non-paid, but especially with a free version, that is how you could have multiple watch lists. And that little tiny arrow next to the name, that's how you can make them smaller. So if you click that little Binance or that little where it says KuCoin, or yeah, there. So you can actually go boop, up, and then disappear, and then you can expand that out. So you don't have to look at all of them at once. So that's just a little bit of a tip for free version or paid version to keep your coins in a bit of a list for yourself or in a section for yourself, which is quite handy.
Very, very cool. I love that, especially for those of you on the free version or even the paid version. If you're looking to separate your coins, and it's really handy, as we often speak about the change by clicking on that. Now, bear in mind, I have tidied up as per last episode as well, is that you might not need to have all of this information, and it starts to get super busy. So I don't need to know what the market cap is necessarily on these. It is rather interesting knowing that Highest Seals has got that 80 million market cap on it, which is great to know. And looking at High Friends as well, pretty decent. So again, to sort that out, you can just check out, you don't need the last price, you don't need the last price change value, you don't need the volume. And I'm all about the pictures, but I don't need to know that. But this is really cool where you can actually separate maybe the coins that you're looking at today. Or if you're a scalper and you're in day trade and in long-term trade reports and you've got different coins that you're looking at, maybe according to the market cap and a couple of things, a really handy thing to be able to do. Just bear in mind that whatever coin that you've got now selected here, and then you insert or add a section, it's going to split that up over there. But again, you can delete that and you're like, oh, I didn't want to put it from here onwards. Add the section in and it'll do that section just above that coin that you last selected.
You can also move the section. So you can grab the section and move it up if you want, if you accidentally put it in the wrong spot.
Yes.
So you can move your coins or you can move your sections.
Very
or
handy.
Both.
Yeah, or both, indeed. You can, depending on how many coins you have on your watch list. And again, this is the free version. But yeah, really handy way to be able to separate that for those of you who have the free version only. Yeah, so nice tip there. Thanks, Vix. Really like that, especially for those who are a little bit more OCD or CDO, if you really need to be alphabetical, then that's a really great way to be able to do that. Now, there are a couple of things as well here that you could try, and as you know, in terms of if you have the free version, click on it. If it pops us up, it means that you just can't do it. If you want to rename your watch list, there is an option there. You can say my watch list. You can do whatever you want to do. A couple of things. Clearing the list, maybe not the best thing to do, because what's going to happen is it'll remove all those coins and you'll have to start again. If you do that every single day, that's a bit time consuming and maybe not the most ideal thing. And that's why a lot of us add or continue to add coins to our watch list. I think I've got 833 coins on my watch list because I am a scalper, and I will often wake up in the morning and do my change and see what the high percentage runners are for the day. And just by doing that, it helps go through all my coins, both on KuCoin and Binance, and some of the MXC coins now as well. What I'm probably going to do, because I use one master watch list, I might start to sort my MEXC coins under one of these sections. So very handy. Thanks, Vex. Cool. So this again is all about the free version. I might touch on, I do have, you can see this tab over here. I've got my paid version on that side. Now, something that I would like to touch on, if you, and this is the same for free version and the pro version or paid versions as well, is that if you make any changes to your, maybe your indicators, to your watch list, but more specifically around your charts, and you start to add in an indicator, like I'll quickly show you here. I'm going to add in volume, and this is just the standard volume for TradingView, and this is specifically around whatever coin you're in at the time, depending on the time frame, is that this is showing me the 1 minute. Now, I've made some changes. Now, on the free version, it does have auto save. I can't click save. Well, I can click on it, but with the with the free version, you can also rename it, but there are a few other limitations that come into play. And this might, again, you might be a scalper, you might be into day trades, you might be into the medium trade reports or long-term trade reports and a couple of things. And you might want to have separate layouts or separate charts, because you might have the hodlnator on one, you might have the detonator on another, and you want to keep them separate. Now, in the free version, it is a bit limiting, but what is handy is the standard name for the free version is unnamed. You can of course rename it here under the free version, and it'll save for you all the time. Excuse me, up here. It'll save for you because my auto save is on. Now, again, if I wanted to make a copy of this, it's going to limit me, but the paid version is pretty handy. Now, why would I want to necessarily make a copy? Is if, for instance, you've got some indicators that you use and you want to compare to them to another, and you want to have a copy of, maybe this is your scalping chart or your DTM chart, you can actually make a copy, a duplicate of your chart here if you have a paid version. In terms of layouts, you can literally press that tab and it's going to give you another layout if you have a paid version, but with the free version, again, it is limiting. So there are a couple of really cool things that you can do in a workaround with the free version at least. And what we at Hodlnots often tell you is that if you're just getting into crypto, you just got your TradingView account and you're like, oh, cool, I definitely want to upgrade. This is looking pretty good. You know, I want to get maybe I'll go for this one because this is better because I can do 10 indicators per chart. What we do recommend is that you can do the 30-day trial. Yes, your credit card will need to be linked and you'll need to remember to cancel that. But you can trial any of these. You can switch between all of these within the 30-day period. But you will need to make sure that if you've been trying this one last, it's not going to charge you $60 the next month if you're doing monthly or annually. But wait for Black Friday and Cyber Monday, generally in end of November, where all the specials come on. All right. And this is where most of us over at Bitcoin Tough tradingview.com. We wait for Black Friday and we wait for 40%, 50%, and 60% reductions on these. If you, we're only a couple of months away. If you are looking to try a paid version, again, this is not, I don't get any commission off this, but if you are looking to try a paid version, perhaps start on the Pro, try the 30-day free trial, and go maybe monthly until then. But for now, there are a couple of easy ways to be able to make use of the free version of TradingView at least. Cool. So we've covered a couple of ways to add coins, and we would suggest that either you go to coinmarketcap.com, you either look for the top percentage runners on the day. Let's just quickly do that, just because this does kind of facilitate finding coins and then adding them to your TradingView watch list. And again, if you go down here, you are able to sort between, say, a market cap. You can sort between, I mean, at the moment, the bottom of the top 100, ENJ is sitting at the lowest. So obviously, Bitcoin is generally the biggest. But you can also look in terms of percentage. And what you might want to do is start to add some of these coins. So you can go to XDC on TradingView. You can look for it over here. And again, depending on which exchange you're on, that's it over there. I'm going to add this. Ooh, it's running. I want to be able to add this to my watch list. I'm pressing Alt W or Option W, and now it's added it to my watch list. So you can basically go that way around. But if you're looking at trading higher dollar percentages or higher dollar positions, should I say, then you might want to look at sorting it according to these top ones that might handle 10,000, 1 million, whatever it is you're looking to trade, but a great way to be able to add to your watch list. Now, we did touch on it in the previous episode where we were speaking about the basic tips and tricks, and we were speaking about Heikin-Ashi candles and normal candles. And one of the things that Vix pointed out that wasn't her tip and trick, but it was a little extra, was making sure that you can remember these and quite easily find them. And all you need to do is by starring them, adding them to your favorites, what happens is they stay up there. And that's the same thing with timeframes. Now, for those of us who are scalpers, we have a number of timeframes that we perhaps look at quite often, and you'll start to see that as I'm adding, or at least adding the stars to them, they stay up there. So if you're in day trade masters, perhaps you look at the 1 hour, most oftentimes the 4 hour. Maybe you start to look at the 1 day, the timeframes as well. And a couple of the other things as well you can do is you can also add in different hour timeframes. So if, for instance, you're needing an 8 hour, you need to have the paid version for that. So while these ones are all standard, these ones available to you here that you see, they're all standard for the free version. If you want to start adding a 2 hour or 6 hour or a 20 hour or whatever else you want to add in, down here at the bottom, you need to have the paid version of that. But because I've started all of them, they're going to stay up there. All right, so you don't need to find it every single time. The other thing as well, nice little tip and trick, is if you want to switch, this is currently on the 1 minute. If you just press the number 5 on your keyboard, it takes you to the 5 minute time frame. So if, for instance, you didn't have that up there, if I didn't want to click on 15, it is easy moving your mouse or your trackpad. I just start typing anywhere and it brings up that change interval and it'll take you straight to that. Ooh, looking pretty good from what I can just see on these candles. I want to switch to Heikin-Ashi. It is favorited up there. That's looking pretty decent. All right, not going to get into that too much else. The other thing as well that Michelle alluded to last time was her favorite toolbar. Now, this is what we call the drawing toolbar. And if you go to your drawing panel, if you go to just your profile, and again, remember, you can switch to dark mode for those of you who like the dark side. But having that on or off, if you're like, oh no, John, I've lost it. Okay, it's quite simply there. Okay, bear that in mind. The other thing is, for instance, a bunch of us, whether you be in day trades or long-term trade reports, whatever kind of technical analysis, or you're wanting to mark where you entered a coin or where you exited a coin, there are a couple of really cool lines that we use. Now, I've favorited these. I also sometimes use, maybe some of you also use the ray. By starting that, it's going to pop up here, and this is a little shortcut. Now, as you start to add in different things, like, or at least start to favorite things, it starts to populate all of your favorite little tools. Maybe use ellipses for cup and handle indicators. Maybe use arcs. Maybe you have a favorite or a text tool. There are a whole bunch of things here, depending on what you're doing. As soon as you start to favorite these, they all pop up here. So there is use, or there's validity really in being able to favorite all of these, and you could end up having a very long toolbar. But if I want to go back to my arrow, now this might be in the way. All you need to do is just right click it and just hide it. All right. If you're looking for it, just go to one of your favorite tools. Maybe go to the brush, or at least you've got to at least star it. You can find it in that manner to quickly get it back or take that off. I use it every now and then. I actually personally don't use this toolbar or the shortcuts toolbar so much, because I'm more of a fan of using keyboard shortcuts, because I don't do a lot of TA on the things that I do, but maybe you guys and girls do. If, for instance, I wanted to have a horizontal line, maybe I entered a coin here. There are a few ways you can do it. And this plus button we did touch on previously in the previous episode. You can either hit that plus button and draw the horizontal line. As I said, I'm more of a let me go back to 1 minute. I'm more of a keyboard shortcut person. And for instance, say I did enter here. If you press the Alt on PC or the Option on your Mac, and you press Alt H, and again, just for those of you who need reminding, they do give and this is obviously I'm using a Mac, so they do give some of the keyboard shortcuts. So I use that often. If I wanted to do a vertical line as well, I know that it's going to be Alt V for vertical, and that just depends on where your cursor is. If you're wanting to do a crosshair, and again, that is Alt or Option C. And again, with these, what's quite nice, you click on that line and it gives you a couple of options. So again, if I wanted to change the color, can do it in that manner. If I wanted to clone that and then move it and carry on, there's obviously shortcuts here too. You can hide it, you can delete it, you can lock it so that it doesn't get moved around if you were to click on your chart, and a couple of really cool things as well. So those are some very basic line indicators and shortcuts that a bunch of us use over on TradingView. Do any of you guys use shortcuts, Vikki, Wendy, Marcell?
Yeah, I
Oh,
definitely do.
all the time.
Do you guys have any favorites?
I like using the cross. I use the cross a lot. The cross, it basically drops a horizontal and a vertical line at a certain point. That way I can identify the candle as well as the price value. So I like using the cross. What else do I use? I use some like basic TA, like ray lines. I'm actually like the horizontal lines, the vertical lines, and the cross. That I use the keyboard shortcuts. Whereas for the ray line and some of the other trend lines that I use that toolbar that Michelle spoke about. So I've got a little small favorites toolbar that I'm running on my screen at the bottom. But for the basic lines, I use my keyboard shortcuts.
Cool, nice. Wendy, do you use keyboard shortcuts, or do you use?
Yeah, I do. I can show one really quick. That I like to use really quick.
Sure.
Let's see.
Would you like to screen share, or do you want to do it on mine?
I'm gonna screen share. I'm gonna screen share really quick. It won't take long.
No,
So
cool.
this one right here is when it's just another alert that you can do off of all the other alerts that you can do on Hodlnator and that we teach in the course. There's the side alert that if I wanted to go in here and on this one, I want to know when this coin maybe reaches this area here where the resistance sign is going to be. I can go over here really quick and I can add an alert on high seals. Oops, right there. And yeah, it was just a little delayed showing up. And you can see here that it puts in a dotted line so that I can go look at other coins that I want to scalp trade and look at a possible one to get in a lot more sooner. But I don't want to miss this if this one decides to hodl cross. So if the candles come back and hit that line, then I'll get an alert popping up on my trading view. Another way to get an alert is if I'm looking at the side here and I want to say, well, if it gets up to 8313, I want to know when it passes the 8313 price. Another way you can do it is go up here at the top and create an alert on the coin. It will bring it up, and you can say when it crosses the price. So when it crosses the price of 8313, I want an alert. And so then I name my alert and I say, this is high seals, and I'll say it's price alert. I want to know when my price alert goes off only once, and I create it. So then you can see it puts the line up here the same way it does on the side. So if I want to know when it passes a certain number on price, and then I want to get back in the coin at that particular price, then, or when it's, and I use this often sometimes when I put in an OCO or a high limit sell, which we teach on the course as well. So right before it gets to my cash out, I put an alert just in case I want to take a look at it and it looks like it's a strong run and I might want to cancel it and let it keep running. So those are a couple of the ways that I use the alert, of shortcuts, you might say.
Very cool. Thanks, Wins. I'm a big fan
Yeah,
of
no worries.
alerts. Yeah, and being able
And
to.
I want to share one more thing.
Sure.
Okay. Over here on the side, and I know you made fun of me before on this, Jon, but a lot of people are not, not as young and gorgeous and have everything
Oh,
perfect eyesight. So as you get older, you might struggle with reading glasses, or you need these numbers. You see how big my numbers are over here? A lot of people might want to know how to be able to see the price a little bit more. So if you want to do that, you go up here to this area here, this little cog wheel, and you go in here, and where it says text in Canvas right here, it says text. You can change the color to whatever color you want your numbers to be. Like I can do turquoise if I want, and you can make them as big as you want. If you really need to see them, 24. I don't need them that bad, but I like 14 to, and sometimes, 10's a little bit too small. You can't really see everything that well. So 14 to 16 is usually a good number where I don't have to squint and I can see things. And so I just wanted to share that with people because that was a big find for me. And then you just click OK down here, and then it'll change whatever color you want here, along with the bigger version so that you can see without squinting. If you're a little bit up there in age like I am, but yeah, makes it convenient. That's all I'm going to share.
Thanks so much, Wendy. I see you've been playing around with the colors. That's quite a nice little nifty one to touch on. But speaking of colors, Marcell, you've got a very colorful tip for us. Tell us more.
Yeah, this might not be applicable to everyone, Jon. But for those that are colorblind, I had a big issue at the start of my trading journey where I couldn't distinguish between the colors. So I'm just quickly going to share some places where you can change colors and play around with line thicknesses in order to distinguish between different indicators, perhaps, or even you'll see even my candles are looking different to the standard ones. So let's start there. If you right click on your chart, go to chart settings. On the symbol, you'll see there is an option to change the actual colors of your candle bodies. So I went with a very neon type of green and red because those are the ones that I can distinguish. If they are too close together, then for my colorblind eyes, it looks exactly the same. So that's one way of changing your candle colors. That's one tip that I have. The other one is if you look at the Hodlnots, there's a whole bunch of different lines, and I can, with all honesty, say I can't really distinguish very well between the green one and the yellow or the orange. That's a bit very similar to me. So I just want to demonstrate just on two other lines. If you added lines to to your chart. What you can do is go into the settings and maybe try a neon colors. It just works better for, you'll see with colorblind. If you are colorblind, the neon colors do tend to stand out a bit more. And then what I would suggest is going with the thicker lines, because it just gives it more real estate on your chart, and it makes it easier to identify which is which. And also the other one, if you have two colors that are fairly similar still, let's do that. Let's change that one up. For instance, for my eyes, those two would be pretty much the same. And then I know it sounds funny, but those two look exactly the same. What I would then do is I would make sure that I know which is which, and then I would go into your style again, and then make one thinner and one thicker. So then at least I know I can identify which is which. So making the colors more neon. Also, a darker background works better for me. I've got a gradient on my background as well. I know it's a tip that Wendy shared previously as well. But darker background with a gradient with neon type lines, and play around with the thicknesses of your indicator lines. That definitely made it a lot better to me. If you start using your indicators for a while, you'll probably end up knowing which is which, even if all of them are the same color, because some of them move differently. But especially if you're a beginner stage and you are colorblind, this is what I would do in order to just help you to distinguish between your different indicators. And that's it from my side, John.
Beautiful. Thank you, Marcell. We have to consider everybody, whether you have a slightly challenging eyesight, whether it be from colors or font sizes and that kind of thing. We do try and help everybody here. So
and if there's any of our members, John, maybe I can just add, if there's any of our members that do struggle with being colorblind, just hit me up in the lodge, just tag me, and I'll gladly go through it slower with you. I couldn't necessarily show you everything in 2 minutes, but you can gladly tag me in the lodge and I'll help you if you're a member.
Will do, but I mean, for that matter, anybody else who's on the call, we know some of the members are heading over to DTM now, that's all right. But for anybody else in bitcointough.com, if you have any questions, if you are perhaps color challenged, then do hit us up, hello@hodlnots.com. I will drop it in the chat now, and we'll be able to assist you there as well. We are one big caring family, but especially those in the lodge, you guys can tag Marcell and be able to assist with that. Thanks, Badger. Thanks very much. Any other last tips? Michelle, do you have perhaps a nice, simple, basic TradingView tip?
It's actually just double clicking on the main screen just to close the other indicators at the bottom. I love the double click on the main screen. So that is a very handy one as well. You can, if for instance you had your MACD and a couple, on the wrong thing, but for instance, if you had MACD and a couple other things, or if you wanted to double click on, let me quickly add in, I'll show exactly what we're talking about. We'll just add in the normal moving average and convergence divergence, and it's adding in there. For instance, you want to double click on that, you can blow it up quite nicely. If you press escape or double click again, it does reduce. And if you double click on that, if you had the RSI or stochastic or anything else, it does blow it up quite nicely there. And you double click and it's back again. Very handy tip. Thanks, Mish. Nice.
Cool. Simple things like that. Also know how to use your wheelie mouse, how to use your trackpad. Lots of tips and tricks from the team today. And we're going to wrap up on that note because there is a contest. And there will be a contest. When this video has been edited and uploaded to YouTube, and it is, once we've notified everybody on the Bitcoin Tough main account, as well as all the others as well, we will be dropping in a contest link for all of you to enter. And that is going to be entering a one-on-one with Wendy and maybe some BTAF tokens as well. And it's going to be centered around Yeah. Once Wendy's got more of a voice back, then we'll be able to, but we're going to be running that for the next week or so. And it's all going to be about either your favorite TradingView tip and trick from this recording and the first edition as well that we did on TradingView tips and tricks. And, or if you have another one of your own that you have discovered while using TradingView, we'd love to hear from you about that. And we may even feature it on the next TradingView tips and tricks episode. So we will let you know more information on how to enter that and how to get involved. We will be dropping that link for the entry mechanism again once we upload this recording. And one other little bit of information is that on our very next Hodlnots Happy Hour Hangouts, we will be giving a snuggle tip as well, market dependent, T's and C's apply.
Woohoo.
But we're going to be giving a snuggle tip away. So Wendy started with those coins warmed up, and we'll be giving you a little tip on a short time frame snuggle. Wendy loves the snuggles. Marius, I don't know. Does Marius like snuggling? He's more of a hodler.
No, he's a hodler. He's totally a hodler.
Not a snuggler. All right. So again, from myself, Marcell, thank you. Vikki, thank you. Michelle, Wendy, and thank you to all of you watching live on Twitch and on this current Zoom call as well. Thanks for tuning in. Hopefully you've learned something. If you are in the lodge, in the Hodlnots Lodge, and you did learn something cool today, let us know. But you can also drop that in for the contest. So in 2 weeks' time again, from now, we'll be having our follow-up on the Hodlnots Happy Hour Hangouts. We'll let you know the theme. Maybe TradingView, but it might be some other interesting things as well. We've covered everything from meme coins to KuCoin and so much more. So, team, thank you.
Thank you, Jon.
Thank you, Jon. Thank you, Marcell. Thank you, Vikki and Michelle. It's been great. It's been another great happy hour. I'm almost done with my drink.
Well, lady, cup up then, all right? More honey and lemon for you. And to all of the
more honey and lemon.
Yeah, exactly. And Kashik and everybody else who's been on the call that aren't necessarily part of Hodlnots, you are part of our family, bitcointough.com as well. Great to see a bunch of names as well that haven't really seen before. So again, thank you all. Catch you in the den, catch you in the lodge, catch you on all the other bitcointough.com calls, as well as BTAP token AMA next week. But otherwise, we'll catch you on the next Hodlnots Happy Hour Hangout.